Studio. Naturopathic nurse Nikki here, and I'm live with Craig Stelflug, cancer nutritionist, world-renowned author, amongst many other things, and neurospecialist especially. But I want to first start out by telling you guys we're here to lecture about cancer. We want to share the knowledge that we have with you and also hopefully help you or even a family member. Most of us know someone that's been affected by cancer.
I think all of us do now.
Absolutely. So we'd love to help, and thank you for allowing us to pour in your lives. As always, I start by saying God bless you, and thank you for allowing us to be here. I want to let you know that Craig, if you don't already know, and they should know because these are really popular books, has he has more, but these two books are the most popular right now on Amazon. Again, world-renowned author here. We've got Fixing the Brain, book 1, Restoring Order to the Brain Disorder. And this is about
brain disorder.
Yeah, brain disorder. It's pretty clear in the title.
We did a lecture on that Wednesday night.
Yep, with Dr. Cameron Call. Hi, if you're watching. And we have book number 2, Fixing the Brain, book 2, Brain Structure versus Function. So they are both very relatable to the lecture that we're going to be speaking about today, but book number 2 especially talks about melatonin and a lot of other things that are going to be helpful for you corresponding with the lecture today. So welcome, Craig. I'm glad that you're here.
Hi. It's a privilege to be here again. I've been in Arizona for the last couple of weeks, so we've been able to do a lot of lectures together.
Yeah.
And that's fun because she used to work in a medical clinic that I was at, so I got to help train her.
Yes.
As a cancer nurse. And so this is naturopathic nurse Nikki. Now, you went from our clinic into the mainstream medical.
I did.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And how fun was that?
So they're very different worlds. As you can imagine, medicinal and naturopathic are very different, especially related to cancer and treatments and whatnot. I wasn't always the favorite nurse with the other nurses or the staff, only because I believed a little bit differently than they did because I had already had the experience with you. And I knew that there was a better way and I wanted to help my patients. And, so I was always the nurse taking extra time in the patient's room teaching them that, hey, you're trying to heal your cancer and heal your body, but you're eating sugar. That doesn't make sense. And none of them knew that sugar feeds cancer. And I was shocked that not a single doctor, not a single nurse taught them that they needed to avoid sugar.
In the place they go to get healing, they get the most ridiculous food sometimes.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I would go into the client's or the patient's room and I would look at the TPN, which is total parental nutrition. It's something that when a person is unable to eat themselves, not eat themselves, but eat food by themselves.
Put your comma in the right place.
Right. When they're not able to eat food by themselves, as a medical professional, you have to get some nutrition in their body. In the hospital, they would have a line going into a vein in their body, right? Artery vein. Right. Or yeah, exactly. With total parental nutrition and what the ingredients that I was reading, I was shocked.
Oh boy.
I was shocked to see corn syrup. I was shocked to see many different forms of sugar inside of the total parental nutrition. And it just baffled me. Why would they do that to someone who is going through
they're trying to get their blood sugar up to keep them alive, but
right. Obviously that's important and I understand that factor. But the type of sugars that they were putting into the body to me didn't make sense. Yeah.
It's amazing. So we eat garbage and expect to be healthy. Or we put garbage into the patient and expect them to get better. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
That's kind of what our lecture about is today. It's called Cancer Basics. And I want to open it with my big opening. Cancer is not a disease.
Right. Surprise!
Ta-da! Not a disease. And yet they treat it as a disease.
Right.
But cancer is actually symptoms. Symptoms of something bad, very bad, gone wrong.
Inside the body.
Yeah, it's inside the body. The body is in catabolism even, where instead of metabolism, building up, catabolism is slowing down. And it's a symptom.
Yeah.
And medical science will never cure the symptoms of cancer.
Right.
They really won't. They keep treating the symptoms. You can cut the tumor out. You treated the symptoms. And then what happens? It comes back.
Yeah.
Right, because they didn't treat the cause.
They didn't treat the cause, exactly. And we've said this, I've said this many times in our previous videos. A lot of times medical doctors want to give a prescription to treat, XYZ on the surface, but they're not getting underneath and fixing the root cause, the root problem. And so I think that relates to what you're saying now.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's dive into this one.
Perfect.
We'll talk about some common cancer factors first. This is cancer basics, so I may or may not be speaking to a specific cancer, but in general, this is what I've found through the some 20 years of clinical experience. Been retired now for 6 years.
Right. And enjoying it, aren't you?
Whoa, got busy.
You got busy, yeah. You got busier, it feels like.
But I have more time to write books, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
And I do plan on writing a cancer book when I get through with my brain series.
I want to help with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Challenge accepted.
Awesome. I'm up for it.
Okay, common cancer factors. Number 1, low thyroid.
We just did a lecture on this.
We did a lecture on it. If you look back through the archives, just 2 or 3 lectures ago.
Yep. That was so informative.
Low thyroid. If you have low thyroid, you have low body temperature, the enzymes don't work right, and you also have low oxygen.
Right.
Cancer thrives in low oxygen. So one of the first things you want to do is look at the thyroid. And if you watch the video from a few days ago, you will see that the medical tests lie. They out and out lie. They don't tell you what's going on inside of the cell.
Right.
So in that lecture, I explained how to accurately test the thyroid.
Right.
And a little bit how to treat it naturally, of course.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the next thing. Acidic pH. Right?
Yeah, if your body's acidic. It's
Yes.
a prime
Acidic
environment.
Acidosis also equates to low oxygen.
Right.
And acidosis grows cancer.
Right.
Now, what they do then is they sell you these alkalizing water machines for $6,000, $8,000. Do they work? For some people, they really do.
Right.
But here's the problem. Your body's supposed to go from acid to alkaline in a 24-hour cycle.
Every day.
Every day. If you don't go from acid to alkaline every day, the spaces in between your cells get congested with garbage. And your cells cannot get the nutrients in because it takes this tidal flow. So you should be acidic in the morning. That's when you eat your big breakfast. Remember, I talked about that in book 2.
Yep.
Eat your big breakfast then, and then you eat like a prince for lunch.
So eat like a king for breakfast, a prince for lunch, and a pauper for dinner.
Absolutely.
Right?
And as the evening comes on, you should be alkaline.
Yes.
So you want to drink alkaline water, drink it in the evening.
Right.
If you want to drink something in the morning, put some apple cider vinegar in it.
Yeah, or a lot of lemons.
A lot of lemon. I drink a lot of lemon in the mornings.
And
then in the evening, I take a half teaspoon of baking soda, stir in a little bit of water, and chuck it down.
Yeah.
And that keeps my acid alkaline tidal flood going.
Yes. Yeah. So I have a question. If there's someone that can't tolerate the teaspoon of baking soda per night, half teaspoon per night, by whatever chance, can they just do what you aforementioned?
The alkaline water?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Right. I like to slam the body before you go to bed with a little bit of baking soda. It cleanses the kidneys. The kidneys are part of your body filter.
Yes.
Right. So that's a wonderful thing. All right. The next thing common to all cancers that I've seen is heavy metal burdens. Did you know that every breast cancer case out there has aluminum in them?
Wow.
Where does that aluminum come from?
Cookware.
Vaccines. And
deodorant. Yeah, goodness gracious. Get yourself a good deodorant with no aluminum. And by the way, goodness gracious. Get yourself a good deodorant with no aluminum. And by the way, don't use talc either. Johnson's baby powder. They were just sued.
Right, that's not the best thing to use.
No.
The problem with aluminum is when you're using it for deodorant, it tells your glands, your sweat glands, makes them pucker up. because they don't want that stuff.
Right.
But then it leaches down through your lymphatic system and into your breast tissues. So it's very common in breast cancer especially.
Yeah, your skin is the largest organ on your body, and it absorbs everything. And then that has to be filtered out through your liver. So like he said, if you're using deodorant with aluminum, your body is going to start to absorb that through your lymphatic system.
Right. And if your liver's congested, your kidneys have to work harder.
Right.
So alkalizing the kidneys helps them flush. Right? If I was working on a project once, and if we had a radiological event, we were going to take big capsules of iodine and drink baking soda.
You knew
to protect the kidneys.
The plan, right?
Yes. So heavy metal burdens also come from tooth fillings.
Right.
They're becoming a little less common, but I've seen a lot of lung cancers because you're vaping.
Literally.
Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury.
Great.
Every time you chew, Dr. Oz even did a segment on that. And it's amazing how much mercury you get from one mercury amalgam filling.
Wow.
And then it's really close to the thyroid.
Right.
Right. So it is an endocrine disruptor.
Right.
It'll disrupt your endocrine system, lower your thyroid, cause thyroid cancer. I've had a lot of lung cancers, mouth full of metal.
Wow.
And
that's terrible.
Yeah, and then I've had a lot of tongue cancer, where wherever the fillings are, that's where the cancer grows. I've actually seen hollowed out sections where they remove tumors, and they correspond to mercury amalgam fillings.
Amazing.
Crazy.
You know, I do have a friend who has, what are they called? Where they did titanium steel in her gums so that she can get the false teeth.
Oh, the implants.
Yeah, thank you. Implants. Now, does that play a factor? It's titanium.
Titanium doesn't leach.
Right.
It doesn't react to acids.
Right.
So stainless steel reacts to acid. That's not best for your body. Titanium is awesome.
Right.
But there's also some kind of zirconium. Zirconium implants are also non-reactive. So they're good too.
Okay. And so if, let's say, somebody watching says, oh my gosh, I have those mercury fillings, what do I do?
Find a naturopathic dentist. If you're here in Phoenix, I've got one, Dr. Greg Manning. He does things the way I want. You've been there.
Yep.
You know, just tell him don't do the epi.
Tell him no epi, please.
So,
yeah, actually, I've been there 3 times because I had the mercury fillings. So throughout time, I've been slowly getting them removed. Scary.
Yeah, I had a naval dentist went wild on me. I had 21 amalgam fillings in my mouth that I had removed in 2001.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Right.
So heavy metals, and they come from high fructose corn syrup.
Oh yes. Which is everywhere, by the way. Check your sauces. Make sure that there's no high fructose corn syrup. It is something that has become more well known. People are getting more educated, and they're saying, wait a minute, what are you doing to my body? So now it's more common that you're going to find things that don't have high fructose corn syrup in it because they're aware now, the food industry, that people don't want it.
Right. And the corn growers are trying to get high fructose corn syrup labeled as just syrup. I mean, labeled as just sugar.
Sugar. Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow. That's just a good thing to avoid. Sugars in general, right? We've been, our toxic load of sugar has gone up and up and up in the last 100 and something years. And our rise in cancer has gone up and up and up. You know, our vaccination rates have gone up and up and up. And every flu shot has mercury in it.
Right.
And that mercury, the fact is, medical fact is, if you have 5 flu shots 5 years in a row, you are 500% more likely to come up with a dementia disorder.
Wow. No, thank you.
Right. And one of the things it does is it attacks the thyroid.
Absolutely.
Okay, another thing common to cancer is a congested liver. So the liver congests because we feed it so many poisons.
Right.
Let's pick on high fructose corn syrup a little more. The liver gets it. It's supposed to detox it and it says, what am I going to do with this? I'm so busy already, and you're giving me this. I don't have the enzymes to process this. I don't have anything to work with it. I'm trying to bag it, but I'm too busy, so it sticks it in fat cells and stores it away from the organs. And then you go on a diet. You're trying to lose weight, and now your liver says, whoa, you're giving me all this stuff back? So some people go on diets and they say, I feel so terrible on a diet because their liver's already congested. Bam, you hit it again.
Yeah, and they're detoxing. Right. Been there. I've been there.
So what are a couple things good for liver detoxing?
So I know that a lot of people that I've told this to, they don't like the idea, but I promise you it is not as bad as it sounds, and you can do it. It's a coffee enema.
Yep. Coffee enemas are awesome. There's on my health site, realhealthdoc.com, there's coffee enemas. Tells you how to do it step by step. And what you're doing, you're laying on your right side. You put 2 or 3 cups of coffee down there, LA style, I call it.
Right. So let's back up. Don't put it in there hot. No. That would be bad. You're going to use a titanium pot. You're going to use organic coffee. You're going to boil the coffee inside of the titanium pot. You're going to let it cool completely. And then you're going to get your saline bag, which you can purchase on Amazon for like $3. And then you're going to put how many teaspoons do you recommend in the saline bag with purified or distilled water? What is it?
Well, you want 3 cups total.
Okay, yeah.
So usually I use a tablespoon of coffee.
Tablespoon of
organic coffee, because you don't want to be boiling up coffee that's got poison in it already.
Right.
And then I boil it for 15 minutes and then strain it. And I like mine 110 degrees.
Okay.
Because it's body temperature, a little warmer. That's kind of soothing. When it's cold, it's a little bit of a shocker. You lay on your right side, and it comes up in your descending colon.
Yep.
And that's where it stays. And your liver exclusively exchanges blood with your descending colon. So every 3 minutes, all of your blood gets filtered between your liver and there. And this causes you to dump your liver bile now.
Right.
Any car mechanics out there, when you change the oil in your car, you're getting rid of bad stuff. Then you put new oil in, and you're diluting the other bad stuff.
Yes. Right. So for every 3 minutes, you're getting rid of so many toxins, and you're supposed to hold this enema for about 15 minutes.
Right.
It's totally doable when you're laying there. Grab a book, grab your phone, whatever, just to keep something to do.
Watch a Bible study.
Right, watch a Bible study, whatever
pray,
you need to do. Pray.
Be thankful.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's not uncomfortable. You will also feel the shift. You will feel it move in your abdomen, and then you kind of know, like, okay, I'm done.
Now, I do suggest you put just a little bit of organic salts and good Himalayan salt, and maybe just a sprinkle of baking soda to alkalize it. And then your peristalsis won't be quite as demanding if you do those 2 simple little things.
Right.
But all that's in a recipe.
Yep, it's in the recipe, realhealthtalk.com. So in case this isn't, you can't hear Craig. Some of my viewers have said that, we can't hear it.
No, boy.
And so in case you can't hear, realhealthtalk.com, you can actually go there and find the liver enema cleanse.
Liver cleanse.
Yep. Okay.
Right. And if you're having trouble hearing me, you can go to YouTube. And right now we're recording live on YouTube. And we have microphones set up for that.
Yep, youtube.com. Just search for Craig Stelflug, Stellpflug. Got it.
Okay, here's a good one. Genetic predispositions. Everybody wants to blame the genetics. Well, I got cancer because it's genetics. It's not because I have a lousy diet. It's not because I swim in chlorine. It's not because I'm an x-ray technician. I had lousy genes. So I don't have to change my diet. I don't have to change my career. I don't have to watch these things because you blame it on genetics. Well, I want to tell you it's not genetics, it's genetic predispositions.
Right.
The predisposition is not the problem until it's precipitated. And there will be precipitating causes: mercury, aluminum, radioactive iodine falling out of the sky from Fukushima, you name it, the stuff we're talking about here. So, genetic predispositions, genetics play a part in 5% of cancers.
Yeah, very small
5%, small percent.
Yeah.
And even then, it's precipitated. It's not even a problem until it's precipitated.
Right.
So when you find your genetic predispositions, do the 23andMe or whatever, then find out what supports whatever precondition you have.
Yeah.
That's wise.
It's very wise.
Right. And
Know
I
where you
would
come from.
suggest also doing like an IgG panel.
Yep.
We had a common patient the other day. She's so happy she's not allergic to anything.
But
they check for everything. IgE reactions, which means you eat the shrimp, you're allergic to seafood, you're going for an epi shot right now. That's immunoglobulin E. That reacts today. Immunoglobulin G is tomorrow.
Right.
Or the next day. Or even 72 hours later.
Right.
So today is Sunday. What did you eat Thursday?
Right, Thursday.
Because it could just now be getting you.
Right.
And it causes inflammation. And cancer is also a disease related to inflammation.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Scary. Okay.
Common cancer factors, we have lousy diet. Lousy diet. If you're going to be a healthy human, you have to eat healthy food. We eat sick food and we expect to be healthy. Well, how long can you tread water?
Right.
Some people can tread water longer. Some people can't. Some people can swim with a 10-pound weight. Some people can't. So, and nobody's a cookie cutter when it comes to cancer.
Right. So what that basically means is, you know, some people can handle unhealthy diets and some people can't. We all know, you know, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get cancer or I'm going to get cancer. It's no favor of persons. It depends on you as a person. That's what you mean by how long can you tread water.
Right. And we have phenotypes in our genotypes. Some people can excrete metals like nobody's business. So, like some kids, they'll get 6, 7, 8 vaccines in one day.
Right. And
they're like, I can handle this. And then there's one kid out there, here and there, they get one shot.
And
bam, they can't handle it. They don't excrete it.
Right. We just had a lady come to the clinic the other day telling us that when her son had his shots, he went blind for 6 months. 6 months. And he was about 6 months old. And she said all of a sudden, just blank stare for the following 6 months. And they had all kinds of tests and everything. It was just a crazy time. But thank God he came out of that.
Be smart about your vaccines.
Right.
Read the insert. Read the insert. If you can read the insert, understand the ingredients, and know that they're not going to harm your child, that's the vaccine you want. And break them up. Because the body doesn't get 7 or 8 diseases at one time. It doesn't get 3 diseases at one time. It gets 1 disease at a time, especially the childhood diseases. And here's something. Did you know they treat cancer tumors with the measles virus? And it destroys the cancer tumors.
Interesting. I believe that.
Right. So one of the reasons we're more and more predisposed to cancer is because we're not getting the diseases that prime our immune system and trains it to knock this stuff out.
Right.
And it's really not a question of do you have cancer or not. It's when have you had cancer already, and what's your body done about it?
Right, because we all have cancer cells in our body. You do right now. So do I. But your immune system is supposed to be strong enough to take them out.
Right. And if it isn't, then you need to get your immune system built up.
Right.
Backing up one step, well, 2 steps to congested liver, glutathione detoxes the liver. Like the other day I was at your clinic and I got a glutathione push mainline, 7 milligrams of glutathione.
Yep.
And it detoxes the liver, and it helps make a healthy liver.
Right. So a client had a question the other day, and she said, well, we know you guys got glutathione pushes. Can I take a glutathione pill?
Sure. It's great. But if you really want a jump start, it's going to take something like what they call a glutathione push.
Right.
And they put it in a syringe and you mainline it.
Yep. It's going to get through to your body faster.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
It hits it and it hits it now.
Yep. And we talk more about that down here. So.
Okay. We have chemical exposure. There's a guy I'm working with while I'm down here in the Phoenix area. He's had a double lung transplant.
Wow.
Chemical exposure.
Wow.
He was a welder.
Oh,
and breathing all these chemical fumes and heavy metals, and it destroyed his lungs.
Right.
And that was 7 years ago. He did double lung transplant.
Right.
And he's still alive today.
Mm-hmm. Amen. You know, I do have a client who has children who are welders, and suddenly they have PCOS. So, very relatable.
Yeah.
That needs to be detox, heavy metal detox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Lots of vitamin A. The epithelial skin, of your skin, the epithelial cells, relies on vitamin A. This is not this is beta carotene, vitamin A, right. Not the retinol palmitate, which is toxic. Mm-hmm. So you want beta carotene, juice a bunch of carrots, eat a bunch of sweet potatoes, and the epithelial cells, your lungs, I think, are 94% epithelial cells. Mm-hmm. So you have someone with asthma, what do they need?
Vitamin A.
Vitamin A.
Mm-hmm. Bingo.
Yep, and get them away from the chemicals. Could be toxic mold. It could be you had an incident in your house where a mattress came unraveled.
Right. It made us all toxic. It was made out of fiberglass.
Yep.
Yep.
Nasty stuff.
We're still dealing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years later.
Yeah.
Right. So asbestos. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Huge. And how are we getting asbestos? Well, we paint it over, we've sealed it with sheetrock, and then we demolish the home, take it to the dump ground, run over it with a tractor to compact it and then cover it with dirt. And if you are up in the mountains looking down on Phoenix, you see this huge dust dome over Phoenix. Some of that is lead, some of it is asbestos, it's molds, it's dust, and there's a lot of things go on in Phoenix just because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it could happen to anyone. Yep.
Hormone imbalance.
Oh gosh, this is a huge one.
Especially for you ladies. Well, even the guys.
Even the guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so where do we get our hormone imbalance from?
Many different things.
Soybeans.
Soybeans.
Never, just don't go there with soybeans.
Right. Edamame, soy milk, no.
Right, because that has phytoestrogen. And you have estrogen-dominant females with estrogen-dominant cancers, and they're doing all this soy. We're feeding our babies soy.
Right. Breast cancer is an estrogen-based cancer. So.
Generally, yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right, so you've got to get the phytoestrogen out. You have to get a balance of progesterone. Progesterone and estrogen oppose each other. They balance each other. If you're high on estrogen, you need progesterone.
Right.
But there's also good herbs to balance them called adaptogenic
Just
herbs.
Gonna say, no synthetic hormones.
Yes,
there are herbs. Yeah. I know another doctor who prescribes supplements for that, natural supplements. But you can do even better than that and turn to the herbs to help balance out your hormones instead. Right. Yeah.
So what's that drug estrogen they give? Cancer case where she was taking the hormones.
Oh, so the synthetic hormones is what you're saying,
synthetic hormones, yeah. Right. Oh, what's the name of it? I'll think of it later.
We'll call my sister-in-law. She's a pharmacist.
But she's also has Meniere's disease. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, I get another breast cancer with Meniere's disease. And they were both on Premarin.
Okay.
That's the one, Premarin.
Right. Premarin, okay.
Right, and it causes, and right there, it's right there in the side effects, causes breast cancer. Gosh. Causes dizziness, Meniere's disease, all the symptoms right there, listed in the side effects. So the doctor gives you Premarin, and you just take it. Right. Don't ever read the side effects, or you'll never be able to take it.
Right. No, he's saying read the side effects.
Yes, that's what I'm actually saying.
Yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I've had a patient that came in, let's say, for example, with ototoxicity, which means deafening in the ears, and I'll ask them, okay, well, what have you been taking any medications? Well, yeah, my doctor just prescribed me gentamicin because I had XYZ bacterial infection. Okay, well, did you read the side effects or the warning labels? No, I did not. That's because general public trusts medical doctors, and not that they're bad people, but they're just practicing medicine. They're not generally going to sit there and read to you the side effects. It's your responsibility as the patient to do that. So we're just educating, letting you know, read the side effects, because yes, those side effects can happen. That's why they're on the label, because they have happened to someone else, and legally they have to put it on the label, and it says it could cause XYZ, like ototoxicity.
I love it when they play those commercials. They got 10 seconds of information about the drug, 40 seconds of side effects.
Right.
And they compress and they speak real fast, so you just barely hear it.
Could cause deafness, blindness,
I'd rather
cancer.
have the disease. Holy moly.
Yep. Okay. So,
well, let's talk about low thyroid, because that is...
One more thing. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to add. So I don't mean to sound redundant, but I just want to let you know that 95% of people who have been tested, so let's say a person is diagnosed with cancer, 95% of those people have also been tested positive for Epstein-Barr virus. Isn't that crazy?
Traditional Chinese medicine teaches their doctors that cancer is a virus. Cancer is caused by virus in the body. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, well, viruses, as we already talked about before, their job is to take over the host. So they are constantly killing and knocking down that immune system, therefore leaving those T cells and B cells not strong enough to fight those cancer cells that we talked about are already in all of our bodies. We all have cancer cells. Our body, our T cells and B cells, our immunity are supposed to be strong enough to fight them off. But when you have, let's say, Epstein-Barr virus, you're already knocked down from this virus. Right. So you're not able to fight those cancer cells.
It's like swimming with a 20-pound weight.
That's right.
The more toxic burden you put on, the more weight you're trying to swim with.
Right. Okay, now you can
Now we can do now, thank you. Low thyroid. And this is the most common thread I've seen in all cancers. Low thyroid. Now there are a few cancers caused by high thyroid, but there's also a cause behind the high thyroid. And cutting your thyroid out is not the solution.
No, or even a piece of your thyroid. Goodness gracious.
Let's find the cause and fix it. Got a lady came to me the other day here in Phoenix and said that somebody told her all her problems are because she needs her thyroid removed. And I'm like,
no.
What?
No, sweetheart. You don't need your thyroid removed.
Oh boy. That's crazy talk. Then I had another one. You're going to love this. So I told her, you need to get some sun.
Right.
She doesn't get any sun. She doesn't leave. She doesn't go out.
Right.
She sits in the shade.
Right.
So you got to get sun. Well, I can't because that causes cancer. I'm like,
wow.
No.
Yeah.
So the sun is our friend. Now, there are sun-related cancers because of something else in your body. Low para-aminobenzoic acid, congested liver, your skin's not pigmenting right, you walk out in the sun, it burns through you, it causes skin cancer.
Right.
But the problem is in your liver. The problem is in needing to supplement something until you fix the cause of the deficiency.
Right.
So, all right, so that's not low thyroid. But, incidentally, these two that I just mentioned have low thyroid. And the one with low thyroid was told to have her thyroid cut out, which doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
But she said that they do better on the synthetic hormones, or when they're dependent on hormones, it's easier to regulate. Not. Okay, so causes slow metabolism, enzyme failure, low oxygen. Thyroid is needed for appropriate cellular replication. So when your cells divide, if you are low thyroid, they might not divide correctly. If you're low thyroid, they might not die because they've divided incorrectly.
Right.
It's called apoptosis.
Right.
So iodine deficiency is common to thyroid deficiency.
Yep.
What's the easiest test for that? Get some iodine. Splash it on your arm or your tummy and see what happens. It should last 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they paint you up with before surgery.
Right.
Yep. I love it. That's good stuff. The reason they paint you up is because it's not only an antiseptic, but it strengthens the cells where they're going to do the surgery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amen. Yep, and you can buy this anywhere if you're curious. Oh gosh, where do I get iodine? You can buy it at Walgreens, Amazon, Walmart, Target, anywhere.
And I like to get people to pour it in a little jar and use a foam paintbrush to paint parts of their body. Breast cancer, you could be painting those breasts.
Yep.
I had a stage 3 probably 8 or 10 years ago, and I told her she needed to do that. She went home and she called me. She says, I'm painting, but there's no stain. Isn't this supposed to stain? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so iodine deficient, your breasts are just sucking you right in. Because your skin is a gateway, and when it says you've had enough iodine, it doesn't take any more iodine.
Right.
So that's a good test. If you paint your arm up with iodine and it disappears in 2 hours, you're deficient.
Yikes.
The quicker it disappears.
Yes, and you need a supplementation. What do you recommend for supplementing for iodine? We've talked about this.
Well, painting is a good thing.
Yep.
You have moms with the kids that are low in iodine, I say, paint your kids up. So they paint dragons on their,
make it fun.
And tattoos, and just they go wild with it. Mm-hmm. And then the kids, they absorb it. And when they start lasting 12, 16, 18 hours of rough play, and they still have stain, we know they're getting close to full.
Right.
But then there's Terry Natural Thyroid Care. Mm-hmm. That's a capsule supplement. It's I think it's 15 milligrams for the full dose of iodine.
Yep. And it has selenium in it. Which, by the way, since our last thyroid lecture, I can't find my Terry Natural Thyroid Care. Craig, any ideas?
You want to check my bags?
Yeah.
She has some really nice cookware, too, so you better check my luggage.
Okay, I'll check you on the way out.
Woo. So, where are we? Iodine deficiency. Mm-hmm. So, Terry Natural Thyroid Care, or you can get scientific potassium iodine. Right? Mm-hmm. It's called KI. That's the chemical word for potassium, or iodine. Potassium iodine.
Yeah.
K for potassium. K for potassium. I for iodine.
Yep.
So SSKI is supersaturated potassium iodine.
Yep.
You can order it already mixed up, or you can mix up your own.
Mm-hmm. And how would they take it? Orally?
Well, each drop is about 50 milligrams of iodine. That's a lot. You put that baby on a cold sore's gone.
Amen.
I've had people put it on their carcinomas. The carcinoma goes away.
Wow.
Because iodine is awesome. Iodine is awesome. Mm-hmm. It's very anti-cancer. And some people say, well, I'm allergic to iodine. Are you allergic to air? Every cell in your body needs oxygen.
Yep.
Every cell in your body needs thyroid. Every cell in your body needs iodine. Iodine.
Amen.
So if you're allergic to iodine, you're not handling the iodine you have.
Right.
And then we need to see why. Are you short on the tyrosine, the amino acid that binds to it to make T1, T2, T3, T4? Because the T stands for tyrosine. And the 1 stands for iodine. The 2 stands for more iodine. The 3 stands for even more iodine.
3 iodines. And the 4 stands for 4 iodines.
Right. So here's the thing. They test for your T factors, your T4, which is storage. T3 is the active form that works in your cell that has to get into the nucleus of the cell to work.
Right.
So when they take the blood test, they're looking at all the traffic in your blood, and they're saying, wow, a lot of iodine trucks there. they don't have an iodine storage.
Right.
And the people in the grocery store are going like, where's the food? You know, the inside the cells are going like, I have nothing here because it can't get into the cell.
Right. It can't get in. That's the point. Yeah.
So there's reasons for that. And we need to find those reasons.
Right.
So your T1 is for your electrical, neurological function.
Mm-hmm.
T2,
immune
function.
Mm-hmm.
T3 is the active, and T4 is the storage.
Right.
And I think 93% of all your thyroid hormones are T4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when you have a medical test done, they test for T3 and T4 only. Whereas if you come to our clinic, we are testing T1, T2, T3, and T4.
Right. And reverse T3.
And reverse T3.
And looking for TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So you need to find someone to look at the whole situation to help you with this. You can treat yourself.
Right.
You can take some of our ideas and try them.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Not going to hurt you. Should make you healthier. But if you want a focused plan, you need to find an expert.
Right.
And I highly recommend it. And I'm retired, so sorry you have to get what I know on lectures.
You can call me or find me on Facebook, Naturopathic Nurse Nikki.
Right, Naturopathic Nurse Nikki, and you are now working at Med Royal.
Well, I'm actually not working there, but I'm contracting through them. So yeah,
But,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she can get you testing, she can get you counseling. She has naturopathic medical doctors there on staff, and they're a team. And when you come in there, this team is going to fix you up. They're going to find the cause of your problem and fix it, because cancer is not a disease.
Right. It's just a symptom of something that's gone wrong inside your body.
Yeah, and I love Chinese medicine.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, there's some traditional Chinese medicine practitioners at your clinic.
There is. Dr. Hugh.
Yeah.
He does acupuncture.
Among things.
Uh-huh.
And we talked on a lecture the other day, and we've got a lot of good, common, solid things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's nice to be able to refer to someone that believes the same thing as you do.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Okay, so how do you test your thyroid? The best way is at home. Costs you nothing.
Right.
Well, it does. You need to buy a basal temperature thermometer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a good old mercury shakedown one that hasn't been broken,
keep it.
Don't throw it away.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the more accurate ones.
Mm-hmm.
Or get a ovulation thermometer. And then there's a chart on realhealth.com. Mm-hmm. We talked about it a couple lectures ago.
Basal temperature.
The basal temperature chart. Mm-hmm. And you want to be 0.8 of a degree below 98.6. Mm-hmm. And this is in the morning before you get out of bed. So don't get up and run around looking for your thermometer and then jump back into bed. It's too late.
Has to be right next to your bed on your nightstand.
Right. The alarm goes off. You reach over for it. Stick it under your arm.
Yep. And don't get out of bed until it's done.
10 minutes generally.
And record it.
And the chart will tell you, are you low thyroid? Are your adrenals bouncing? You know, what's going on? Are you hyperthyroid? Mm-hmm. And I trust that test. I do not trust the traditional blood test.
We need to do another lecture on adrenal fatigue.
That would be awesome.
I'd like to talk about it now, but just thinking in that, it's just its own lecture in itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, because your thyroids and your adrenals, they balance like this. Mm-hmm. Thyroid is up, the adrenals are down.
Right.
The thyroid's down, the adrenals are up. They're up, the thyroid's down, they're up. Mm-hmm. They're both broken, and now you're running on cortisol.
No good.
Boy, and that devours your melatonin.
Yeah.
So
I'm probably there right now.
Needing melatonin?
No. I don't need melatonin. Yeah, cortisol.
Well, then that's stress. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Mm-hmm. So you've been forced through several quick changes recently in stressful situations. And I don't know how you do it. 5 kids, and a husband, and a small business, and a nurse practice. And me, I show up and down.
Well, you give me less stress.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good. Right? Phew.
Well, let's talk about pH.
pH.
You want to talk about
we're missing lithium orotate.
Lithium orotate.
Oh, I want to say it because I have a friend who's also a client messaged me yesterday and said, "Hey, I couldn't hear what was the second part of the lithium." So in addition to taking the Terry Natural Care thyroid care that Craig mentioned, that has selenium in it as well as iodine.
Some of the other cofactors.
You also need lithium orotate. It's OROTATE.
Which is the salt form of lithium.
Right.
And people who are in lithium-rich soil areas are happy.
Yeah.
Naturally happy.
Right.
And if the doctor gives you a lithium prescription, which is poison, it's not the salt, it's not the natural one, but you get happy. Lithium makes you happy.
Well, that's why doctors prescribe it for bipolar patients.
Which is the subject of book 1.
Yes.
But we're here to talk about pH now. Go ahead.
Okay.
Talk about Otto.
All right. So Otto Warburg won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1931, showing that tumors grow in anaerobic environment, which will occur when the system is acidic.
Bam.
Boom.
Oops. Well, acidosis. That's why they're selling all these heavy-duty alkalizing water machines. And I think they're great.
Yeah.
I really do. I just don't think you need it all day long.
No.
I think you should drink it in the afternoon and evening.
Yeah.
And I think in the morning you should squeeze a lemon and drink some apple cider vinegar. Get acidic. Eat your food. Right?
Yep.
And then you're acidic in the morning and you need to be alkaline in the evening.
Yeah.
And that will help you oxygenate. Oxygenation is huge for fighting cancer. Right? So we give, at our clinic, before I retired, we'd use H2O2 intravenously. What's that?
Yep.
Hydrogen peroxide. H2O2, 2 parts oxygen. Well, we should have our natural oxygen from a healthy body. But if we don't, well, what do you got there? Show them.
So this is the food grade hydrogen peroxide, H2O2.
Yep.
Exactly what you just said.
Right. And this you only need maybe 5 drops in a glass of water once a day.
Yeah, don't take it by itself.
Right.
Dilute it with water.
But take it in here, put it in your morning drink. Just put 5 or 10 drops. So I don't recommend going more than that.
Right.
But that will oxygenate your whole system. The other thing we used was the ozone, which is O3.
Right.
3 molecules of oxygen. This stuff kills mold, mildew, viruses. H2O2 kills viruses too.
Right.
You can put it in a vaporizer, especially if you have a sick house or people sick right now or somebody going through some asthmatic problems. Put on a vaporizer, put a cup of H2O2 in it.
Yeah,
and it doesn't even have to be the food grade for that.
For that, yeah. I've done it several times. I'll put the lemon and some lavender and some H2O2.
I like it.
And just let it in the kids' bedrooms or whatever. Yeah.
And then you can get an ozone generator. They're $600 or $800. I've got an Alpine at home. It works great. In fact, our church in Montrose, when I was there a few weeks ago, I was telling one of the guys, my ozone machine broke. I'm so sad. I'm going to find another one. He said, I got one in my basement.
Oh my gosh.
And he gave it to me.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. What a blessing.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Because it'll attach to particles of bacteria floating in the air.
Right.
And make it heavy. Take it down. And it kills it and takes it down.
Right. So when we worked in the naturopathic cancer clinic, do you remember us injecting the patient with bubbles of oxygen that would directly affect the tumor that they had at the time?
You can inject it right into the tumor.
Yeah, into the tumor.
The only problem with that is there's some basement cells around every tumor, and if you puncture that, when you bring the needle out, clinics that do that.
Yeah.
And it works, but there's a few caveats here.
Depending, right? Okay.
Right. And you can inject measles virus that'll destroy a tumor, but unfortunately, when you're dragging that needle back out, you're going to spread the cancer cells. Stab biopsies, I don't ever recommend.
Right. When I worked medicinally, we actually had a tumor that was cut open, and in the center of the tumor was a ball of sugar. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So the tumor was literally feeding off of that ball of sugar.
Well.
All right, so moving on.
Well, let's look at some solutions for acidic acidosis.
Mm-hmm.
Juice fasting. Eat more vegetables and fruits, people.
Wait. Can we back up to what you just said? Juice fasting.
You just did a juice fast with hundreds of followers.
I did.
A few weeks ago.
I did.
And even my wife, Susan, did it. She was excited. She did.
Yeah.
And she's a quintessential juice faster.
Yeah.
And she had these new recipes from Nurse Nikki, and she was all in. She actually started a day early and went a day later.
Yeah, she did amazing. She was a rock star. And she modified it according to her own needs, which was a blessing to have you there with her, because you guys could decide, okay, this might be too acidic for her, this might work better for her, less fruit for her. She needed more vegetables than fruit. So the plan is customizable as well.
Now, she's been juice fasting for years.
Yeah, okay. That's amazing.
On occasions.
Good.
Right, she's been doing coffee enemas for years.
Yeah.
I do coffee enemas.
Right.
And I do juice fasting, intermittent fasting.
Right, intermittent, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so if you want to get on board with the juice cleansing, I'm doing it once a month. Mm-hmm. And so patients can message me and I can get that out. It is beneficial for helping to heal your body of cancer. Mm-hmm. Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely. So find Naturopathic Nurse Nikki on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Follow her. Very important. She's always got great articles. I do some fancy writing, but she puts articles up that medical articles from other research clinics and stuff, where I just write about what I want to write about.
You're a phenomenal writer.
Yeah, but it's a different flavor, so
right.
You need it's both.
Yeah, true.
All right, so juice fasting. Mm-hmm. Eat more fruits and vegetables because you will become more alkaline.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Yep.
And you steam them lightly or eat them raw.
Mm-hmm. Raw is best.
And don't peel them.
Don't peel them, and organic is best.
Yes, organic is best.
Non-GMO.
Right, and I've had patients with potassium deficiency that say, okay, get your organic potatoes, scrub them up, and then peel them, and then throw the white part away.
Eat the peeling.
Eat the peelings. Heck yeah.
People get shocked by that.
Yeah, but that's where the potassium ring is.
Right.
Right there in that first 1/8 inch.
Yep.
And that's where a lot of your nutrients are in the carrot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do not peel my carrots.
That's a good idea. Don't peel your carrots. Mm-hmm. Baking soda at night, we talked about. Apple cider vinegar in the morning.
Talked about that.
Alkaline water machine in the afternoon, evening water. Mm-hmm. High protein only for breakfast.
Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about that.
Well, we did talk about keto diets
right.
a few months ago. Mm-hmm. And if you're acidic, that's the best time to handle your proteins. You've got lots of acid. Mm-hmm. So the best time to alkalize is another way to alkalize, to eat that heavy protein in the morning.
Right.
And it'll burn up your acidosis.
Right.
You think it would make you more acidic, but it'll actually slant you more alkaline in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, so for example, you did, a couple of days ago at the house, you did eggs with 100% grass-fed beef, right. Which is more protein than most people would have in the morning time.
Right.
Yeah, so you were mixing, plus you did French toast, which was battered in the eggs.
Right. And it was gluten-free bread.
Gluten-free bread, organic, of course, yeah. Everything's organic, gluten-free, non-GMO. Is that why you like to come to my house?
Yeah. If I'm ever up for adoption, I want you to adopt me.
Okay, I will. You bet.
Because you eat very well.
Yeah,
but if you don't feed your kids decent, and then you expect them to behave a certain way and be healthy,
right,
you're not going to get it.
Right, it's going to be hard. It is hard, especially like we talked about going out to places. You send them to church, you send them to school, you send them with grandma and grandpa. And it's just really difficult. You just do your best, and I understand for some parents out there it's even harder, but Yeah, for me at the house, we eat a certain way, and they just know that. They know what's expected.
And she packs her husband amazing lunches.
Yeah.
And he's so obedient. If she's juice fasting,
He does
she
it.
sends the juice with him, and he works hard all day and drinks juice.
Yep.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, me neither. But he does it. He really sticks to it. Okay, so, sorry.
All right. And to balance your tidal pH also affects your cortisol and your melatonin balance, right? You can give massive doses of melatonin to cancer patients, and it helps them get better.
Right.
Melatonin is very anti-cancer, but you need the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a supplement you would recommend to your clients for melatonin.
I don't know the exact names.
There is one that's an organic melatonin. You can find it at Sprouts. I know, right?
Or
Yeah.
Amazon.
Amazon, always Amazon gets us in trouble. But yeah, so you're saying large doses of melatonin. Are you suggesting in the morning, in the afternoon, at night? When do you suggest they take melatonin?
Well, we can cover right now, or we can cover when I get to my notes.
Right now.
Why don't we hold
that?
We'll cover that in a little bit. So you want to balance your insulin and glucose. You know, if you eat a heavy meal at night, your body now has to burn that up. Where if you ate a little tiny snack early in the evening and ate nothing else, then your body burns triglycerides.
Right.
Your body burns fats. Right?
Yep.
So you lose weight.
Yep.
Because your body needs fuel all through the night. But if you eat this heavy meal and then go to bed, your body's going like, well, I was going to burn some triglycerides tonight. I was going to make some essential fatty acids. I was going to burn some fat cells, but now I've got to deal with all of this.
Yeah, now I have to process and digest all night. Instead of working on healing your body, regenerating new cells, I have to work to digest your food.
And then your triglycerides go up.
Yeah.
And then your doctor says, oh, you need a statin drug, which causes cancer.
Yeah.
One of the side effects.
Such a spiral.
Heavy metal burdens. We talked a little bit about non-excretor phenotypes. Low thyroid. It causes low thyroid. The congested liver. See, the liver bags and then gets rid of it. It's two phases. The first phase to collect the garbage, put it in the bag. The second phase is to flush it out. It's the trash truck comes by and boom, it all goes. Right? So if your liver's congested, it's going to have trouble bagging and it's going to have trouble removing.
Yeah.
The first line of defense for heavy metal detox is your colon.
Right.
And if your colon's compromised, you're getting too many metals, your enzymes are low.
Boom.
If you're eating big fish have more mercury than little fish.
Yeah, shark.
Yep. So, environmental exposure to lead. Wow, this is huge too. And some people are non-excretors. You know, I was lead toxic at one time, but I also grew up in an age where the cribs were painted with lead paint.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That was
and the walls are painted with lead paint.
Yep.
And the sheetrock has lead paint, and the joint compound has lead in it, and the pipes have lead solder in them. So it's a different era now.
Yeah, thank goodness.
But lead, the heavy metal burden causes cancer, causes neurological dysfunction.
Right.
And there's some great natural ways to get rid of lead. I don't know if we're going to talk about that up here. I don't think we are, so we better talk about it now.
Okay.
So there's calcium EDTA. That's what we use at the clinic, either capsule or you can get it in an IV form. And it binds to metal really well.
Right, EDTA.
Right, EDTA. But be very careful because once it grabs the metals out and there's nothing else left and you take more, it's now going to grab minerals, critical minerals. You can overdose and you can die on this stuff. I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone dying, but theoretically you can.
Right.
I took it so long one time, my neck started aching, and that's dangerous.
Right.
And I knew I was at a bad point.
Yes.
But I was desperate. I was uranium toxic. I was lead toxic. And I was doing the best I could.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about metals is they distribute to the body through osmotic pressure.
Right.
So osmotic pressure is like taking an eyedropper full of red food dye, drop it in a gallon of water, and what happens?
Finish.
It disperses.
Yeah.
Osmotic pressure drives it until it's exactly even between all the other molecules. And your body does that.
Right.
So if you have a heavy metal burden in your colon you can't get rid of, it shares it with your muscles.
Right.
That shares it with your central nervous system. That shares it with your skin, or if you're getting it on your skin. You're getting it in your lungs. It spreads throughout the body. But it's also heavy metal, so it tends to sink.
Right.
So we have sweaty feet. We're walking around all day. It wicks to our feet. And believe it or not, there's a certain smell for the metal toxic patient. And when they take their shoes off, I go, woo, boy.
You're toxic.
And they're going like, but I don't have a foot fungus. I don't know what, my feet are always stinky. And you soak them in bentonite clay, and the smell goes away immediately.
Bentonite clay.
Bentonite clay is double ionic. It grabs that metal, pulls it out. And now the feet are like, wow, no more metal.
Yeah.
And the muscles go, well, here, have some of this.
And it gives,
and it spreads back out, and then the feet start to stink again.
You just have to keep doing it.
Keep doing it, right. So the thing is, you scrape off the top layer, and then it all disperses again.
Yeah.
So if you've got your pink-colored water, and you take a straw, and you dip the straw in, stick your thumb over it, and draw out a straw full,
right,
and let it go in the sink, put a straw full of clean water back, how long is it going to take you to clean that gallon jug of water?
Quite a while.
It's going to be virtually impossible to get it completely exchanged.
Right.
But that's your body. People think like, oh good, we'll do this 2 weeks from now, I'm good.
Right. No. No.
It's a lifestyle.
Process.
It's 40, 50, 60 years of toxins.
Yeah.
And even the fetus developing in mommy's womb, it gets up to 90% of mommy's toxic metals. So we look at that glowing woman. Wow, look at your skin. You must be pregnant. You're glowing. Well, the fetus just got all the heavy metals.
Right. So that's why mom is glowing.
That's why mom is glowing. Chinese medicine knows this. They say the very firstborn baby is the one that gets all the toxins.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Poor baby.
Poor babies. And then that's the one typically that has autism.
Interesting.
Now I know more and more I'm seeing families with 1, 2, 3, 4 kids with autism. It used to never be.
Right. And that's we're not saying that it's mommy's fault. No, please don't think that.
Right. Well, if you're going to get pregnant, start a metal detox first.
Right. Do it.
If you're pregnant, go take some clay baths.
Yeah.
Drink some bentonite clay, and it will absorb the toxic metals in your gut.
Right.
And then the rest of your body can start pushing the metals that way. But I would only drink the bentonite clay like for 5 days once a month.
Right.
You don't have to overdo it.
Yeah.
Another good way to get rid of heavy metals quick in the gut is to drink distilled water. But don't do it for all day, every day. Do it for like 4 or 5 days. Okay. Because the water, distilled water, is mineral deficient. And my dad used to work at Campbell Soup Company. That was like his second career. And he said they had to replace their steam pipes every few years because they were just disintegrate from the inside because the steam would leach the minerals out.
Wow. Okay.
So you can drink distilled water and it will pull the metals out.
That makes sense.
But once you're out of metals, it's going after minerals.
Right.
So don't overdo it.
Right. Be careful.
But that would be a good cleanse once every 3 or 4 months.
Right.
Drink a gallon of water for 4 or 5 days. Distilled water, that is.
Right. Distilled water.
Right. Yeah. So let's see. Environmental exposure to lead, cadmium. A lot of toys at Christmas time coming from China. Korea, or cadmium.
Cadmium.
Wow. Better than lead.
Right.
I'm going to need a drink of water.
I know. I got you.
Thank you.
You're
This is
welcome.
reverse osmosis water. We're in the desert. I'm dry.
We're in the desert. You're not in Washington.
Nice and wet in Washington. All right, so where do we get some of these? Cadmium and toys, and jewelry, cheap rings that make your finger turn black. Wow. And our kids play with this stuff. They put it in their mouth, they swallow it sometimes.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You don't want cadmium. Aluminum, get it from vaccines.
Vaccines, cookware, deodorant.
Yep, that's big providers. So our vaccines, even the mercury-free, quote-unquote mercury-free vaccines, have mercury. They recover the mercury from the vaccine, but some of the mercury is lost in process.
Right.
Where to go? When they make high fructose corn syrup and they use mercury to break down the sugar molecules to make it 8 times sweeter than sugar, they recover the mercury, most of it.
Wow.
What you got? High fructose corn syrup?
Yeah, we're talking about it now.
Here's another one, Kotex. Diapers.
Yep.
Eye drops. They have thimerosal, which is a disinfectant made of, I think it's 49% mercury. They used to use mercurochrome for wound care because it kills everything. Everything, the human and everything.
Wow.
But it would clean the wound right now. I don't recommend that at all.
No.
Metals cause cellular aberrations. You understand? Some of these metals, they attach to the cell wall and they corrupt the cell wall. These heavy metals leach the selenium out of your body. You don't have selenium?
Thyroid.
If you've got mercury amalgam fillings, you are going to be deficient in selenium. Get some selenium. 200 micrograms a day. Pretty much take care of you. These metals, heavy metals, block apoptosis, which is the cancer cells, when they pop, they die. Right. And they displace all kinds of minerals, including your lithium orotate. Your lithium, but the orotate form is what you take. Solutions, chelation, there's chelation solutions. We tried chelating children with autism back in the 90s, part of DAN, Defeat Autism Now, so I'd have them in the clinic. We chelate them, and the parents would go like, there's our kid, there's Johnny, he's coming back, we got Johnny back. And we pulled so many metals out of him, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, the circulating metals and the relocation of the metals re-injures Johnny. And he gets just as bad, if not worse.
Explain to them what chelation is.
Chelation is injecting into your vein, well, IV chelation, DMSA, EDTA, glutathione actually helps chelation, especially by boosting the liver. So the other chelations are oral chelations. And that's the way you want to start a child with autism, oral chelation. And you're going to pull the metals out of the gut. And then the central nervous system will give that to the gut. And then you pull it out. You're going to put them in kitty litter baths. Because actually, I was in AutoZone a couple days ago, and they have big, giant, 50-pound sacks of pure bentonite clay.
Wow.
Oil absorbent.
Let's go to AutoZone.
Nothing else in it. So you put 8 cups of that in a pillowcase, tie a knot in it, throw it in your bathtub.
Yep. Stick
the kid in it, you soak in it, and it pulls those metals out of your skin. Bentonite clay masks for beauty treatment.
Right.
It pulls the heavy metals out. There's a lot of lead. There's a lot of junk in your cosmetics.
Yeah, there is. Oh, I use and I sell Crunchy makeup because
Crunchy makeup?
Yeah, it's called Crunchy, and it's because it's an all natural, organic makeup. In fact, I'm wearing it now in case you think I look beautiful, right? So.
Absolutely. Everybody clap for.
Woohoo! Yeah, so if you're thinking
I see some
about
loves floating up the screen.
perfect. So yeah, if you're thinking about, what you're putting on your skin, even your makeup, your soaps, all that matters. It matters.
Yeah, the soaps we use today have hormone disruptors. Right, the plastics
Absolutely.
we use have
The
phthalates in
plastics
them.
you use, the plastics that your kids are drinking out of, the cups, the dollar store plastics that you're putting their lunches in.
Especially if you heat them up.
Yes.
Never leave your water bottle in the car.
No.
All right, cilantro in the AM.
Yep.
You can get cilantro capsules. Go get some organic at Sprouts. Chop it up, eat it in your breakfast omelet. A bunch of it. Mm-hmm. That moves metals out. Mm-hmm. The problem is it doesn't take them out.
Right.
It just gets them moving. And then in the evening, take some wheatgrass, some chlorella, some green drinks, and then that'll bind the loose metals.
Yep.
Cilantro will shake it loose. Chlorella will grab it.
And that is oral chelation. So he was talking about getting rid of heavy metals from your body and doing that with your children. Instead of, or even in addition to, right, the chelation IV with EDTA and DMSA, you can do oral chelation with cilantro and chlorella. And I'm Hispanic, it's cilantro.
DMSA and EDTA.
Right.
But I highly suggest working with an experienced naturopath when you're doing this orally, so you don't leach your minerals, so you don't do other kinds of damage.
Right, exactly, precisely. So tell them what EDTA and DMSA are.
I don't know what the chemical names stand for. I used to. My sometimers is
right.
In.
It's okay.
Yeah, but they're actually the EDTA. You'll see that in your grated cheese.
Right.
A lot, and the reason is because they run it through an aluminum cheese grater, and then the cheese tastes like aluminum.
Aluminum.
EDTA binds with that aluminum, and it's actually a good thing. Because aluminum is still in your cheese, EDTA is bound to it. You eat the cheese, it just goes right through.
EDTA, yeah.
Right, EDTA binds on it.
Right.
So I'm not against EDTA.
Right.
It's one of the food additives that's not bad, except you've got processed foods.
Right.
The best way to grate your cheese is with a Salad Master stainless steel cheese grater. Do it yourself. All right, let's go to page 2.
Oh, congested liver, no?
Yeah, well, we're going to have to move on.
Oh,
the notes are, however, already on Facebook.
Right.
And then I will post them in the threads of YouTube and
this
Facebook.
This is so good, though. Methyl storage.
Oh
gosh, you can't skip it. Oh. No, there's just so much to helping with cancer.
Right.
Oh gosh.
And you told Clifton we were going to do this in 1 hour.
Yeah, right, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So the MTHFR defect, where you cannot methylate, it takes methyl groups in your liver to break down, to capture, and to remove heavy metals and toxins and poisons in your liver. And if you have this defect, you cannot methylate.
Right.
So you need more methyl groups. You need trimethylglycine, dimethylglycine. You should be taking methylcobalamin B12 instead of cyanocobalamin B12.
Right.
And you need to build up your methyl groups. Glutathione, a glutathione push. Awesome for people with the MTHFR defect.
Right.
And it's a simple test. I think you can even get it online now.
Oh, yeah?
It's not even that expensive.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, so
pesticide exposure. So you're talking about congested liver. Yeah, pesticides, that's a big one. Pesticide exposure. And I know a lot of pesticides companies say, oh, it's safe for children and pets.
What they do is they, this is a study I saw a few years ago. They took children on regular diets, and they had them pee in a cup, and then they tested it for pesticides. Whoa, there's pesticides in there. They put them on organic food. The next day, it was gone.
Right.
So your body's trying to get rid of it, Some people can excrete, some people can't. Some people do a so-so job.
Right.
It's a spectrum. The spectrum of abilities. What else you got there? Gluten intolerance?
Yep, we already talk about that so much in our videos. Watch our other videos.
Right. Causes inflammation in the liver.
Yep. Pharmaceutical drugs. Your liver and your kidneys, they have to process and excrete those drugs. And they are drugs that you're taking if you're taking medicine, you know. So that congest your liver.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in fact, some drugs are so toxic they have to check your liver enzymes to make sure you're not going into liver failure.
Yeah, if you have a child with ADHD, when they put your child on medication for that, they're going to be having to monitor their liver labs.
And if they're not monitoring the liver,
shame.
It's not good. You need to demand a liver check.
Yep.
Check those liver enzymes. Huge deal. Liver's not functioning, you're more susceptible to cancer. Or if you're fighting cancer, you're not going to be able to get through it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, so
Okay.
lousy diet. Cancer is a disease of inflammation. Artificial sweeteners, they confuse the insulin balance and they toxify your body. Sucralose is 3 molecules of chlorine. Whoa! Chlorine is an endocrine disruptor.
Yep.
Fluoride is an endocrine disruptor.
Yep.
The stuff they put in the bread, the bromines, are endocrine disruptors.
Right.
They get in the key pathway for iodine and they get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And now your iodine can't even get in.
Right.
So, well, don't do artificial sweeteners.
No.
Your body knows how to handle honey.
Yep.
And it's got the enzymes to digest it.
Mm-hmm.
Or raw organic cane sugar.
Yep.
Has the enzymes and minerals. But what they do, we like white salt. We like white sugar. It's got to flow just right. And it's got to dissolve just right. So they take the sugar and they remove all the brown stuff and they sell it as molasses.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to get shot of minerals, start drinking some blackstrap molasses.
Right.
And you're getting all the concentrated minerals and very little of the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But at least your body knows how to deal with the sugar.
Right.
I don't recommend high doses of it.
Right.
And it kind of depends on you and how much you can handle.
Right.
You know, some people need steak, lots of protein. Some people need more carbohydrates. Some people need vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So we got different body types.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you what yours is.
Right. You have to figure it out.
Get some books.
Yep, I can help you with that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Get with naturopathic nurse Nikki. I think she'll be doing some blogs pretty soon on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, herbicides kill life.
Mm-hmm.
Glyphosate right now. You see all these lawsuits for the leukemias and stuff? Glyphosate. So they make these GMO corn. Let's just pick on corn. So it defies weed killer.
Mm-hmm.
So they can spray it on there, and it kills every other weed around, but it does not kill the corn plant.
Right.
Well, it's even worse to your non-GMO crops. Before they harvest them, they spray them with glyphosate, kill them. 2 days later, they come through to harvest them, and they get a cleaner harvest. They get more production.
Right, the farmers.
Farmers do.
Mm-hmm.
And then we eat it. And then we get cancer. 20 years later, we go, oh, I got cancer. Why do you have cancer? Well, I don't know.
That could be why.
Could be why.
Yeah, so there's so many lawsuits against Roundup now.
Mm-hmm.
And that frustrates me to no end because you and I have been saying for years that Roundup causes cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Roundup we've been teaching
it causes
this.
ADHD.
Yes, so many things. And we've been saying this for years. And now all of this sudden, we figured out that Roundup causes cancer. And there's all these lawsuits. And we're like, hello, we've been trying to tell you.
They only did a 30-day study on rats. And then they said, see, no cancer, it's good.
Goodness
because
gracious.
they started doing the 90-day ones. They've actually done 90-day ones first, and the rats got cancer.
Mm-hmm.
But the rats didn't get cancer in 30 days, so they shortened the study to 30 days.
Right.
And you think I'm lying? I'm not.
Look it up.
Okay, when you eat is important. We talked about that. So here's another fact. You cannot out-exercise a lousy diet. Scientific studies have taken people that eat good, people that exercise hard. Guess who's healthier?
The ones that eat good.
The ones that eat good.
Yeah, it's more important to eat healthy.
More important to eat healthy
Yep.
than it is to exercise. But you need to eat healthy and get some exercise.
Right. Yeah.
The body's a pump.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not moving, it's not pumping.
That's right.
If you're sedentary, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
That's why I like this old house we live in. I'm remodeling it.
It's a lot of work.
Okay.
Golly, you're not sitting still.
Man, scaffolding
No.
and jackhammers.
No. Even just walking. I go walking every single day with my sister-in-law. She lives up the street. Throw the kids in the stroller. I put them in. I don't throw them. You know. And we go for a walk. About 2.5 miles. So it's good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
The body's a pump. If you're not moving,
Right.
it's not pumping. So
Yeah.
patients that are laying in the hospital bed,
Oh, yeah.
what do? You have to give them a shot in the fat of the belly to keep things from coagulating.
Right. Every single patient, heparin shot.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. Okay, let me read this one.
All right.
Children who eat 12 hot dogs per month have 10 times greater risk for leukemia than those who do not eat hot dogs. Do not feed your children hot dogs.
Don't do hot dogs.
Oh my gosh. The reason why is because they contain nitrates. Okay. So it's also in bacon.
Yep.
So when I have found a specialty shop here in Arizona, it's out here in Queen Creek, Arizona, where I go because I can request no nitrate bacon. If we're going to have bacon once in a while, I can request it with no nitrates because they have their pig farm right there.
My apologies to Harlan Sparrow right now. He's my Jewish friend.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. But I mean, it's best to avoid pig meat anyway. But if you're going to do bacon, if you're going to do hot dogs, get them with no nitrates. Please, nitrates cause cancer. Even your lunch meat. And don't think that when you go to the deli and you say, give me that fresh carved turkey, all natural, fresh carved turkey behind the deli counter, and they shave it right there in front of you, that you're getting a meat that has no nitrates. Not true. There are still some of those meats that have nitrates in them. Ask to read the label. I need to see that label, please, or ask them, I need a nitrate-free meat, and they will give you something that's nitrate-free.
All right, read the rest of that one.
All right. So, children who regularly consume nitrates and nitrites in bacon, ham, and sausage have 3 times greater risk of lymphoma.
Well, what about us humans?
Same.
I mean, it's adult humans.
Yep.
Humans. Kids are very alien, aren't they?
Sometimes
especially those teenoids.
Monsters, yeah.
Teenoids.
So the solutions: rainbow assortment of organic fruits and vegetables. Raw is usually best, but just eating fruits and vegetables is more important than whether they're raw or cooked. And if you want to cook them on a lower temperature using your salad master. It'll keep more of your nutrients. Also, eat a wide variety in different ways for optimum health. Grass-fed and grass-finished beef, wild-caught fish. The more well-done the meat is, the more carcinogenic hydrocarbons are formed. Exactly. So I do have some friends that they say, char that steak. I love my steak black. And oh no, I'm sorry, but that's not good. That's not good. You're creating carcinogens, so don't do that. Healthy fats are friendly fats.
They are.
Woo!
Right. Fats don't make you fat.
No.
Unhealthy fats make you fat.
Right, exactly. So some of your healthy fats, coconut oil, olive oil, organic olive oil, avocados, healthy fats. So they're good for you. Yes,
absolutely.
They are. And then we talked about clean water in one of our lectures before. Spring water is clean, good water.
Yep.
If you can get spring water in glass, that's the best. It can be pricey, so just spring water in general, right? Yes. Or like you said, your RO system installed in your house.
Yes.
Which we own a plumbing company.
But you just moved. So
we just moved, so we don't have one quite yet. High fiber diets provide, how do you say this? Butyrate as an energy source for colonic bacteria. Butyrate has been shown to stop in vitro growth of colon cancer cells.
Well, that's why a high-fiber diet treats colon cancer.
Amazing. Yeah. So if you were in the hospital, they would put you on, if you have colon cancer, and I remember a patient, they had him on so many of these medications to make him defecate and go to the, and they had him on so many, literally he would be in the hospital bed and couldn't make it to the bathroom.
Right.
He would be going on his way to the bathroom, and that's how they do it medicinally. That was not a great end of life for that man.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah,
So high fiber.
Unfortunately, what you're talking about is quality of life.
Yes.
And I would rather die 3 months sooner than have 9 months of living hell.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Many of the patients that would come in and they would be getting chemotherapy, and the survival rate, there are some that are going to survive, and sadly they may get cancer again later on down the line in 10 years or 20 years. That was literally caused from the chemotherapy. But it buys them more time, so to speak, is what they think.
And they say they're cured of cancer.
Yeah.
They're cancer-free. Their quality of life is crap.
Right.
I call cured of cancer complete remission.
Right, complete remission.
Nothing less.
Yeah.
Oh, and then if they survive for 4 years, it's called cured.
Right. Oh gosh. Yeah. No, going through chemotherapy is a living hell. It's a nightmare. And like you just said, I'd rather go natural first, all the way. And yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
So this short chain fatty acid is found at levels which are inversely proportional to colon cancer.
So the less butyrate you have, the higher the colon cancer rates.
Got it. You can.
Chemical exposures, pesticides, herbicides, petrochemicals, which that's what they make drugs out of, by the way. That's what they make food colors out of. They boil petrochemicals.
Yep.
And it stinks like rubber.
Yep.
And they put different acids in them, and they come out with these fantastic colors. They skim the colors off, they bottle it, that's what you're eating.
Yes.
Medications, full toxic chemicals in certain cells.
Yeah.
It makes the drug work better.
Right.
So let's see.
Plasticizers.
Plasticizers, they like, have you ever smelled that fresh shower panel?
Yes.
The shower curtain? That smell is deadly.
Yes.
That is toxic, deadly chemicals. Right, so you get the rubber ducky at Walmart, sniff it, smell it, and you gotta go like, wow, and you want your kid to chew on this?
Right, oh gosh.
You want them to chew on a teething ring that's made with this stuff? Please don't.
Please don't.
Food additives, oh my gosh, why do they put some of these food additives?
Yeah, you get something at the store, let's say peanut butter for an example, and the list of ingredients is this long.
How many ingredients are listed on the label of an avocado?
One.
One. Yeah, the less ingredients, the better off you are, but if you can't pronounce it, it's probably bad.
Yeah.
But get smart. You're there in the store. You have a Google.
Yeah.
Google. Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Right. Who doesn't?
Right. Or dog pile or whatever one you want to use.
Right.
So let's see.
Detergents. Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, your soaps, detergents and soaps.
Do not use Tide.
Oh boy. I cannot walk through the chemical aisle or the laundry soap aisle at any supermarket. I start walking by and I go like,
yeah,
because I don't want to smell this stuff.
Yeah.
And it follows you. Just walking through that aisle and get 2 or 3 aisles down, I can still smell it on my clothes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
Right, I use bergamot, essential oil of bergamot.
Yep.
Lemongrass. My wife has some. It's a multi-level market, but it's a silver-based laundry soap.
Awesome.
It takes just a little bit.
Yep.
And I've been doing my laundry out and about.
Yeah.
Because I've been here for 2 weeks, but I think my laundry smells pretty great.
Yeah.
My closet does not smell like a manly man who just crawled out from under a truck.
Right.
It smells like bergamot.
Right, exactly.
Which I much prefer, because that's their Earl Grey tea.
Yep.
We have bergamot. All right, so detergents, soaps, scents, candles, don't burn the cheap candles.
No.
Oh, please don't. That toxic chemicals in the air.
Yes.
Toothpaste are horrible.
Yes.
Especially fluoride. Remember, Fluoride is an endocrine disruptor.
Yep.
It affects the pituitary gland.
Mm-hmm.
Pituitary gland cycles it, collects it.
Yep.
And the pituitary gland is what has to tell your thyroid to work.
Yeah. Bad. So you use charcoal or baking soda.
A little bit of peroxide.
Mm-hmm.
Dip your toothbrush in some peroxide.
Or bentonite clay.
Right, and they got the what's that bentonite clay one? The Redmond clay.
Redmond clay.
Yep,
There you
and
go.
the grandkids love it. My kids brush more with it.
Perfect. Sign me up.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, so where are we? Toxic burdens start out small and grow with continued exposure.
Right.
So I can't handle what I used to could.
Right. Darn it. We're getting older.
Yep, getting old. That kind of sucks.
Happens to the best of us.
The really big question is how long can you tread water?
Yeah.
Some people can tread water a lot longer than others. Some people can drink whiskey and smoke. 103 years old, they finally die.
Yeah.
Me, if I took up smoking tomorrow, probably be dead in a week.
Yeah. You wouldn't.
Shrivel up and die.
Oh my gosh.
Leads to melatonin suppression.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Enzyme dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
Don't the fluoride treatments ever, ever, ever. You have fluoride in your city water. It takes a bone char filter. I had your husband and a bone char filter. So
yep.
Her husband Clifton comes in with it, wheeling in these 2 bottles with some automatic flush things on the top. Turn them loose. Now the swimming pool has no fluoride, no chlorine. He's got a salt water pool.
Amen.
With no chemical chlorine in it.
That is
His kids can
nice.
swim in it with their eyes open.
Yep. Not have to worry.
Yep.
Yeah, goodness. What a blessing. Yep, if you need right, I'll buy
For
you
your
one.
husband. And Clifton is amazing.
He is.
He's an amazing plumber. Yep. Amazing giving heart. So you're talking to Clifton and his wife are givers. But that's what attracted her and I in the medical fields. Right. Because it's the healing arts, it's part of giving.
Yeah, amen.
I want to give help. I want to give goodness.
Yeah, and you are.
Cool.
Yep.
Mission accomplished. Solutions for chemical exposure: educate and avoid.
Yes.
Clean your liver.
Yes.
Eliminate. Make sure you're pooping daily.
Yep.
If you're not, there's a reason.
Yep.
So we need to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just you need more fiber. Yep. Sometimes you're low thyroid. Thyroid helps you run your peristalsis.
Yep.
That's intermittent fasting.
Yep.
Intermittent fasting next. Bentonite clay, activated charcoal. If you get poisoned and go to the hospital, ER, what's the first thing they give you?
Charcoal.
Activated charcoal. Well, get some in your glove box. Put some in your purse. I don't carry a purse.
I have it.
I need a man purse carrying my charcoal.
Yeah.
Right, keep it in the glove box. Keep it in your cupboard. If you get food poisoning, bam. If your kid gets into a chemical which you shouldn't have in the house, stick some on the way to the hospital, ER. Stick some charcoal in them because it will absorb the toxins now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, solutions. Lots of fresh fruits and veggies. Mm-hmm. And make sure they're organic because like carrots and potatoes, they absorb toxins in your body if they're organic. If they're not organic, they've already absorbed toxins in the soil.
Exactly.
So there's a difference right there. Mm-hmm. Get your water filters done. Adequate dietary fiber binds to toxins to block absorption of the toxins, and it dilutes the toxins, decreases the transit times in the colon, and it helps avoid reabsorption.
Yep. Okay, let me read this one.
Hormone imbalance. Yes. This one's yours.
Okay, hormone imbalances. Endocrine disrupting and feminizing chemicals and heavy metals cause hormone-driven cancers, sexual dysfunction, gender dysphoria.
Wow, that's a biggie right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So we blame society or, we got all these defenses set around it, but we're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're doing it to our kids.
Exactly, yeah. Gender dysphoria, precocious puberty, which is just early.
Right, so your 7-year-old is all of a sudden they're sexually maturing.
No, yeah, no.
See it all the time.
No. And thyroid dysfunction among teens. Pesticides mimic the hormone estrogen to promote estrogen in prostate cancers. Pesticides are oncogenic, which increases the transcriptional expression of cancer.
Really?
Amazing. Oh. Okay, so solutions. Yay! There are solutions.
Yeah, lots of problems, lots of solutions.
Yes, always a solution. So estrogen type cancers are cancers of the breast, ovary, uterus, endometrium, and cervix. Indole 3 carbinol, found in cooked cruciferous vegetables, which cruciferous vegetables are broccoli, cabbage, kale, and cauliflower, shifts metabolism of estrogen to a less tumor-promoting form of estrogen.
Right. That's all estrogen.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
You should be eating your
Eat
broccoli.
Eat it.
Eat it.
Cauliflower rice, cauliflower pizza,
Mm.
even cauliflower pot pie I made one night. It's so good.
Sure.
Okay, flax seeds contain high levels of lignans, which block estrogen receptors and reduce the effects of estrogen on breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Friendly bacteria in the gut have a glucuronidase enzyme that frees bound estrogen. Wow, that's amazing. All in itself.
Yep.
Soy contains phytoestrogen that drives estrogen receptor positive cancers. Soy is a feminizer that is causing precocious puberty and gender dysphoria, and soy blocks your thyroid. So we already talked about no soy.
Don't do soy.
Don't do soy.
Don't do soy. No soy.
It's in everything.
Yep. Cancer supplements. So much the food we eat today is lacking in vitamins. A can of spinach used to give you so many nutrients in the 50s.
Right.
And now it takes like 6 cans of spinach to equal what you used to get from one.
Yeah.
So who can eat 6 cans of spinach to give that amount of nutrients?
If you're juicing, but that's pretty
much.
Yeah,
if you're juicing it,
yeah.
Yep, so because they're lacking in vitamins and minerals, we need supplements.
Right.
Supplements take the place of a lack.
Mm-hmm.
To fill in a deficiency.
Right.
So these are all necessary for optimal health.
Mm-hmm.
Supplements are not designed to replace a nutritious diet. I'm going to repeat this.
No.
Supplements are not designed to replace a nutritious diet or overcome shortfalls of junk food.
Right.
Soft drinks and the SAD diet. Capital S, capital A, capital D, standard American diet.
Right.
It's sad.
It is sad.
Okay, solutions, green tea, wheatgrass. These are good. Barley grass, algae, such as chlorella and spirulina. They contain toxic binding chlorophyll and other phytochemicals that block nitrosamines. GI tract, breast, and prostate cancers all are reduced by green tea and other green drinks.
Organic green tea. Nice.
We're on the last page finally.
Whew.
Let's see, we're already 1 hour and 40 minutes. Boy, glad you guys can stop and start these.
Yeah, really. Astragalus.
Up number 1, the astragalus.
I'll be your Vanna White.
A Chinese medicinal plant. Over 5,000 years of medicinal records on astragalus. It's adaptogenic. If your thyroid's low, it helps bring it up.
Yeah.
If your thyroid's high, it helps push it down. It helps balance hormones. It's called adaptogenic.
Right.
It is really critical for the adrenals.
Absolutely.
And if your thyroid's low, your adrenals are going to be easy to do.
Yeah, very easy.
I buy the organic, I stuff it in a half-gallon jar because I give so much of it away.
Yeah.
And then I fill it with pure grain alcohol.
Yep.
And I let it sit for at least 2 weeks. And then 6 months later, I'm still straining it out of that jar. And it just gets stronger and better.
Yes, exactly.
And it just takes a few drops at night.
Yep, just a few drops a
to
night.
help you.
Yeah, I fill up 2 pipettes and I just put them in a tea, an herbal tea, like an organic raspberry leaf tea or whatever I want to have that night.
Astragalus increases the cytotoxicity of natural killer cells, NK cells.
Yep.
That's what you want. You want T cells. It increases those too. These are what destroy cancer. While switching on the anti-tumor activity of interleukin-2. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Astragalus reduces the negative consequences of both chemo and radiation fatigue.
Right.
So if you're on chemo, and that's fine, it's your choice, it's your health, you've got to make your best plan. You need astragalus.
Mm-hmm.
And it will help multiply the effects positively and push down the negative effects. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Yep.
It'll
helps with weight loss, anemia.
Yep, anemia, weight loss, radiation fatigue, loss of strength, while increasing white blood cell counts.
Wow.
For leukopenia, right? If you have this immunosuppression therapy, you can come up with leukopenia.
That's powerful. So for patients that are in the hospital, even that are suffering, and I've seen this multiple times throughout my years, is they're immunosuppressant. They don't have an immune system. They're low, and this is something that they can do, or their family can help them with while they're in the hospital.
And guess what they need?
Yep.
Astragalus.
Astragalus. Yeah.
And there's no reason for your medical doctor to say don't give them that.
Right. And if they do,
you
can sneak it on the side.
Yeah, sneak it in
No,
there.
it's happened to me.
This is your health.
Yeah, they told me I couldn't give my newborn baby, what was it, probiotics. And I said, okay, so I won't do it when you're looking, but that's my baby. It's not going to harm her. It's probiotics.
The newborn should get vitamin K, not the shot.
Right.
Break open a vitamin K capsule and put it in their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
So easy. Melatonin helps block new blood supply to vessels and tumors. Melatonin. If your cortisol's high and you're eating late at night, your melatonin's going to be low, you're going to be more susceptible to cancer. But it blocks the new blood developing in cancer cells or in tumors. Counteracts estrogen stimulation of cellular growth in breast. Did I skip one?
Nope. Yeah.
Calms reproductive hormones to lower the risk of ovarian, endometrial, breast, prostate, and testicular cancers.
Right.
Melatonin. Who thought? Who knew? Melatonin opposes cortisol. And big evening meal, this is in the notes. And snacking slows or even blocks melatonin. Sleeping with a night light on shuts off your melatonin production.
Wow. Yeah, huge.
And we think we want these night lights and cameras on our babies.
Yeah.
And we're doing harm to them.
Right.
We want them to be safe and we're harming them.
Mm-hmm. And your cell phone.
Yes.
Yeah, sleeping with your cell phone. Keep it far, far away from your bed. Don't keep it on your nightstand. Mm-hmm. Keep it far away.
So, sleeping with a nightlight shuts off the melatonin, disrupts your circadian rhythms, causes stress levels to rise, right along with your cortisol, increases chances for cancer while hindering your ability to fight existing cancer. Selenium and zinc, absolutely necessary for glutathione to be reactivated after it neutralizes free radicals.
If someone receives a glutathione push or takes a supplement, they should also make sure they have enough selenium and zinc on board as well.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
Alpha lipoic acid. It's another antioxidant. It's good. It's both fat and water soluble at the same time, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
And it's perhaps the best antioxidant available and helps keep glutathione in its activated form. So, White Palmore, who takes AOL every day.
Good, yeah. Good, Paul.
Yeah. Other supplements which would be helpful are good multivitamin, multi-mineral. I love Garden of Life.
Oh, me too. Organic and raw.
Yep.
Always. Garden of Life,
and
everything.
It's usually got the complete, all the vitamins, the whole spectrum of the vitamins.
I'm glad you said that because I have at least 5 bottles in the cabinet. Go me.
They're $40 a bottle though. So
yeah, they are.
Be prepared for sticker shock, but you can go spend it at the medical doctors or you can spend it at the vitamin shop.
Yep.
Your
Sprouts.
choice.
Yeah, Sprouts has a sale twice a year, I believe it is, where they have them where they're 50% off, I think.
Ooh.
Or maybe it's 20.
25% last week.
Okay, last week?
I think it was.
Oh, missed the sale. Okay.
Vitamin E complex You don't want the isolated vitamin E. It's got to have gamma, delta, all the ones.
Right.
Vitamin C, whole food vitamin C is best.
Yeah.
But cancer cells suck vitamin C and they think it's sugar. Mm-hmm. They suck it in and they can't metabolize it.
Right.
And it turns into hydrogen peroxide, H2O2.
Right.
Inside the cancer tumor, and it bursts the cells. It breaks down the tumor. Vitamin C is huge.
Yeah. Oh, huge. We used to do vitamin C IV drips at the cancer clinic, and I actually am excited because I found an IV vitamin C drip that I can administer now that is corn-free and preservative-free, GMO-free, and that's just unheard of nowadays. If you're looking at your mobile IV clinics that are doing, going house to house, they are all GMO and they all have corn. So our compounding pharmacy is just a godsend.
So that's at Med Royal.
Mm-hmm. But I'm an independent contractor and I can go to their house and administer it. Or they can go to Med Royal through referral through me.
Right, and we're talking 50 grams. Proteolytic enzymes are huge. Talking to a man in, I'm working on a pickup truck on down here. So I was in O'Reilly and there was this Indian man named Neil. In fact, he's probably watching. And I mentioned proteolytic enzymes. He's going, yes. Yeah, he was so excited for proteolytic enzymes. You need to take them while you're eating, and you need to take them in between. While you're eating, helps you digest. In between, helps you get rid of cancer tumors.
Beautiful.
There are naturopathic clinics in the Northeast that specialize in proteolytic enzymes, and some of them have up to 90% remission rate. Huge. Hyperthermia, not hypothermia. When your body goes to 102 degrees, 103 degrees in your core, your immune system says, okay, what's wrong? Let's go. Get up, boys. We're going out there. Because some of these cancers are ninja. And they're sitting there right below the radar, and your body's missing them. But you do hyperthermia, you raise the body temperature up, it thinks you have a fever, it reacts like you're in a disease state, and man, that's awesome. That is totally awesome. Hyperthermia. Forgiveness. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a treatment that works. You have to forgive. If it's a dead one that's already gone, forgive them anyways. Right?
Yeah, and there's several studies out there just proving that people who hold unforgiveness in their heart, it's like such a heavy weight that it causes cancer.
Yep.
So absolutely.
And right behind your head, duck down a little and tell them.
Be thankful.
Be thankful.
Thanks and love.
People who are thankful are healthier. I see the sun's coming around and getting on you. Might have to close one of those shades. We're almost done, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so coffee enemas, ozone treatments. We used to pump gas ozone right into the blood vessel. And you're thinking, isn't that going to embolize? Isn't that going to cause a problem? And you keep injecting it until the patient coughs and you smell ozone in their breath. You've saturated their blood, saturated their lungs, and now it's coming back in their respiration. They're full of ozone. This is a legitimate cancer treatment, naturopathic cancer treatment.
Yes.
Essential oils. Yep. Essential oils, put them in a diffuser.
Yeah.
Wear them.
I sell those also.
Diffusers?
No. Well, that too, but the essential oils,
yeah. Yeah, they're great. Get with what's one of those like Young Living. These guys are out there to educate. Really great. Hydrogen peroxide IV, or you take it in the drops in your water. Debulking surgery. Sometimes the tumor is so massive, and, lymphomas get so big. And if you start trying to digest that, I've seen people with 20-pound tumors, and you go to treating that naturopathically, it starts to die off. They get toxic.
Yeah.
It could kill them.
Too much toxins at one time.
So sometimes you have to go in there and debulk, cut the tumor out.
Yeah.
Fasting is huge. Treatments not.
Sulfate.
Are you familiar with that?
No.
Jet fuel.
Are you kidding?
It causes cellular reactions in the body, but it's jet fuel, hydrazine sulfate. It actually works for some patients. And it actually makes some of them worse and makes them sicker. So
got it.
It does not. I do not recommend hydrazine sulfate.
Okay. Chemotherapy.
You want to talk about that one?
Gosh, just for obvious reasons. Chemotherapy tears down every single cell in the body. So while you're trying to kill cancer that's, say, in your liver, you're going to be busy, your hair is going to fall out, your nails are going to become brittle, you're going to get sores in your mouth, you're going to have trouble with your bowels, you're going to have gut responses, you're going to have, it's just think about
Quality of life.
Every cell, quality of life down the tubes. You're going to be puking, you're going to be sick, tired. It's just terrible.
So let's ask you this, what's stronger, chemotherapy, the cancer, or the human?
The human. Oh, you mean
Which is stronger?
Strongest out of all three?
Well, usually it's the chemotherapy.
Yeah, the chemotherapy. Yeah, that's going to do, for sure. Right. Yeah. Radiation as well. So you're radiating an area, and 9 times out of 10, that cancer is going to pop up again somewhere else, caused by the radiation.
It goes ninja.
Yeah, and radiation can also cause burns and things like that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Stab biopsy, you talked about that, stabbing a needle into the cancer, and then when you're pulling it out, slowly pulling out cancer cells along with it, and then just making it worse. Tamoxifen.
So hormone blocker.
Yeah. Gosh. Okay, morcellation, and then hiding.
Yeah. Morcellation is where they do the 3 incisions, then what do they call it, the endoscopic surgery, and then they send a little grinder in there to grind up the tumor and suck it out. But when they grind it, they spread it everywhere.
Right.
Morcellation, and then hiding from it.
Yeah.
Don't duck your head in the sand. If you got cancer, now's the time to fight.
Yep.
Start by being thankful and forgiving and changing your diet and researching nutrition. Get with a naturopath. The fight is on. You can win this. Cancer is weaker than your immune system.
Yeah.
So it gets stronger than your immune system, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So, conclusion, cancer is not a disease. It's just not a disease.
It's not a disease.
It's a symptom of something gone wrong.
Right.
Find it, fix it. Right. The body requires clean air, clean food, clean water, and exercise.
Yep. The body is designed to heal itself if we give it what it needs and remove the causes of trouble.
Right. Getting lung cancer, stop smoking.
Yeah, right.
And then let's get busy. Let's fix this thing.
Yeah.
All right, healthy food, healthy human. And one of my all-time quotes, the best time, this is my quote, the best time to seek your health is while you still have it.
Amen.
Right. So don't wait till you're sick. Health is a spectrum.
Right.
You're healthy here, you're sick here. Where are you in that spectrum?
Right.
It doesn't show up till here.
Yeah.
You're somewhere in between, I'll guarantee you. Don't wait till you're right here.
Right. Don't wait. Below. Yeah. Yeah, work on it now. We all have setbacks. I just want to mention that. We all have setbacks. The important thing is that you get right back up and keep trying to do better. Keep trying to do better. Keep trying to do better with your health, with your eating, all of that. So just never completely give up. Also, I wanted to mention Dr. Gundry. He has had a book that's been out for years and years and years. And that book is phenomenal as well. So if that's something you're interested in reading about, further cancer treatments, it basically aligns with what we're teaching here. If you want to find Craig, realhealthtalk.com, and he has all of this information on his website, also on youtube.com. If you search for Craig Stuff-Luke, you can find me on Facebook, Naturopathic Nurse Nikki. If you have any questions, please feel free to message us, and we will answer your questions. So thank you again for allowing us to come into your life and bless you. We hope that you enjoyed our 2-hour lecture.
Oh boy, yeah. Take your time. Digest it slowly.
Yeah.
Go back in, review it. And if you have big questions, if we've misspoken, tell us about it.
Yeah. We're not perfect. We're close.
Yeah, close. And I'm not so smart, but I know Him is smart.
Amen. Yeah. God is the great physician, and the Holy Spirit is where we get our information. And He's the first person you should turn to if you're sick. Say your prayers and then reach out.
Yep. And if that's not working, give it Nurse Nikki or me or some other believer, somebody with faith.
Yeah.
Have them pray with you.
Yeah.
For you.
I will always pray over my patients, even for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then third aid, go to the hospital, get your bones set. Yeah. But I don't recommend the chemotherapy. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, God bless everybody. It's been great. I wish you wonderful health, many blessings.
Yes.
And we'll see you in a few weeks when I'm back down or whatever.
I'm sure we will.
We'll figure it out. Next time we have to do adrenals.
Adrenals, exactly.
Adrenals next time.
Yep.
Because 3 or 4 months ago we promised you thyroid.
Mm-hmm. We did it.
And here we are. Yep.
Man, we rocked that.
God bless. I love you guys.
Yep, we love you. God bless you.
Our cameraman left.
Yeah, it's okay. I think actually both of our phones died. So the only one that will be on.
Oh my.
Please. Yep, our phones both died. So it'll only be on YouTube.
Yep.